Hey everybody, how's it going? It's Joe. Welcome back to another episode of the Inside Our Phillies podcast. It's February 8th. It is Super Bowl Sunday. And here to talk about the Phillies, we have Jeremy. How's it going today, Jeremy?
Good, good, good.
Happy Super Bowl Sunday to you, but we're going to here to talk about the Phillies. It's been a quiet week in Phillies land as we kind of get ready for pitchers and catchers to report. As of the time that we are recording, we're just 3 days away. They're recording on February 11th, this Wednesday. And then the first full squad workout is scheduled for February 16th. So that'll be the following Monday. So as we're getting to this point right before pitchers and catchers report, I thought it would be a good idea to kind of take some time to talk about the big headlines and what we're looking out for in this spring training. So let's kind of go back and forth a few times. I'll let you kick it off. What is the number one thing that you are looking for in spring training this year?
I'm looking to see how the young guys do. Painter, Kemp, even like Crawford, obviously, and then Miller. Like if Miller is really really hot in spring training, do they just trade him?
Yeah, I don't. Ooh, I think no matter what Miller does, I have a hard time seeing him breaking camp with the team. But I'm very interested to see what he does because if he has a good spring training, the calls for him to replace Bohm are going to be pretty loud. Who are you most out of all those guys? Like, who are you most looking forward to seeing in spring training?
Kemp,
Kemp? Why Kemp?
because we need a right-handed power bat. He is our best bet.
Yeah, I guess that's true. He's gonna, it seems like, be the platoon guy with Marsh in left field. So he's going to be getting some decent playing time this year. He did last year too, to be fair.
I know, but
Um,
but this time he won't be playing with broken kneecaps.
This is true. This is true. It'll be interesting. I think that that's a completely fair choice. I kind of have the basic answer of like I'm really kind of interested to see what Crawford and Painter do. I know that like the results of spring training don't necessarily matter, but with those two guys specifically, I feel like we're going to be able to tell a lot in the process, right? Like how is the shape of Painter's fastball compared to last year? Is it looking like it's a better pitch? It wasn't really a plus fastball last year, and that's kind of what led him to getting tattooed a little bit in AAA. If that fastball shape looks better and it's missing more bats, I think Painter has a real chance to be an impact player this year. Just same with Justin Crawford. Justin Crawford, according to Matt Gelb, is going to be playing a lot, probably the most out of anybody for the Phillies in the Grapefruit League. So how does he look against like major league pitching and major league defenses? Because I think it's going to be pretty obvious if it's just not going to be sustainable or if he's going to be able to work out in center field. Same with the defense.
Yeah, and to give an example that always helps keep me grounded for spring training. 2009, Raul Ibanez hit 0 home runs in spring training, and I remember I was in high school just being pissed, and then my dad telling me, "It doesn't matter, relax." And of course, Raul Ibanez had an insane first half with the Phillies with home runs.
All star.
Yeah, no, yeah, no, no. I remember everyone accused. I mean, this is still really off the heels of like the steroid era, so everyone was like, "Steroids, steroids, steroids." Because like he had an insane first half, and then he got injured in the second half. It wasn't the same.
Yeah.
But let's see, the first half, he hit 22 home runs in the first half,
Crazy.
and then
Crazy.
he hit 359 with 7 home runs in April, and then 312 with 10 home runs in May. So just and he hit none in spring training. So people should definitely not take spring training numbers, no matter how bad they are. It really doesn't matter.
And he was pushing 40 at that point, right? He was the 09, 37, right? So
Yeah,
uh,
no, it's just even looking back then, we signed a 39-year-old, 37-year-old to replace Pat Burrell.
yeah. Ruben
Like,
Amaro
what?
Jr.
I mean, he was great, and like he was great for us, but it's just thinking about like, why we should have looking back is honestly should have kept Burrell, but he,
That's true. A lot of people, I think, thought at least a few years ago that Rolly Banias was going to be like a manager one day. I wonder if he still wants to go down that track. I think he'd be a great manager if that is the way he wanted to go.
Yeah, I definitely could see him being a manager. And he's only 53, so he's still got plenty of time.
Yeah, why not? Baseball managers can hang out until they're in their 80s. So, um, great call out there. What I'm looking forward to now, this really probably won't matter for like the actual team, but like this Nick Castellanos situation is just so bizarre and so funny. Um, I'm just curious to see, is he going to be on the team when it comes time for the position players to report in 8 days? Is he going to report if he is on the team? Do the Phillies want him to report? Even does he want to report? Like, it's just such a fascinating situation that I can't recall happening before or anything similar to this. So I'm just interested to see how it's going to play out from like an entertainment perspective.
I don't think he reports. It would be a disaster if he reports.
Do you think he's going to not want to report, or do you think the team's going to be like, "Hey, stay home"?
I think it's going to be both.
Yeah, I think that's probably about right. I mean, who's going to benefit from him being there? He probably doesn't want to be there. The Phillies don't want him to be there. Um, Interesting, but tell me, like, strictly on the field, is Nick Castellanos not a better platoon left fielder than Otto Kemp in 2026?
I mean, if we're going based off just last year, no, he was terrible against lefties even last year.
Yeah, yeah, that's fair. Um, and I think regardless of even if he's a few percent better, which isn't a guarantee, um, I think he would be so toxic to the team that it is just kind of untenable to even have him report at all. Stay clear, please.
He had like 680 OPS against lefties last year. What did Kemp have last year? Platoon splits. And Kemp had 786.
Yeah, there you go.
So, but like both of us wouldn't be surprised if Castellanos goes to the other team and does well. I would not be surprised if he hits 280, 20 home runs on another team. Castellanos.
I guess if you count doing well as strictly offensively, like
Oh yeah, no, yeah, no, no, no. I'm talking strictly offensively. I wouldn't
sure,
be surprised if he hits like 20 home runs, hits 280.
yeah. I mean, he's still going to probably be a replacement level player just because his defense, if he is playing defense every day, is going
Yeah,
to kill whatever value he could potentially provide offensively. Looking at his baseball reference page now, I already completely forgot that he hit 29 home runs in 23. Like, I can't believe he was pushing 30 home runs for as a Philly one year. I always thought he was like closer to a 20 home run guy, but no, not that year at least.
oh no, I mean it's just because of the first half.
Oh, yeah. 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 I
Yeah, he
remember.
oh actually no, he hits more home runs in the second half. Wow, but he had 840 OPS in the first half and a 723 in the second half. So still he was a lot better in the first half.
So boom or bust second half, I guess. That's fair. What's the next thing that you're looking forward to in spring training?
uh, let's see. Let me see. Who do they invite to spring training? 6 Phillies non-invitees. Okay. Uh, non-roster. Apologize. I'm on my phone. I'm at my parents for the weekend. Uh,
You're good. Well, you look that up. I'll tell you, I'm interested to see what happens with Dylan Moore. Dylan Moore had a great first couple months of the year last year. Now, has he really been like a productive player in the major leagues? Not really. He really hasn't. But I think that this was kind of alluded to, talked directly about on the last High Hopes podcast. But it's interesting that Dylan Moore could be an Edmundo Sosa replacement. And I think Edmundo Sosa, his value would be decent, right? He doesn't only has 1 year left on his deal, but I would be all for kind of if we can get Edmundo Sosa out and get some value in a more productive way. Maybe that's how we get a platoon guy in the outfield. Um, I'm all for that, and I'm interested to see if Dylan Moore looks like he can be a playable bench bat. I love that he can play pretty much any kind of position on the field. Um, just interested to see what's going to happen with Dylan Moore.
yeah, I know. But if you look at his Avant page, it's like all
Bad.
blue,
Yeah, it's
all
not great.
blue. Yeah, it's just, It's I mean, it's just always interesting. Like the non-roster ATs, we have like our 11th rounder from a couple of years ago, Kenan Hedinger, catcher, but he just going to be their first spring training catcher. He's done nothing. Future coach.
Yep.
Yeah, oh yeah, Keaton Anthony. I am very interested in seeing how he does. I definitely see him being as underrated offensive prospect.
He doesn't hit for a lot of power, but he hits for good contact. He plays like a corner infield despite having no power, so it's a little bomish in that regard. But yeah, I mean, I think he is somebody that could have some value at some point. He's a little older for a prospect, but that's fair. I mean, these guys
Yeah,
are
but
going to
yeah,
play a lot, right? With the World Baseball
yeah,
Classic, like these guys are going to play a lot.
yeah. And also he was like hurt last year too. So, but he was drafted lower because he had a like gambling scandal in college
Mm-hmm.
that he was. I think he was mostly acquitted. It was like a somewhat weird situation.
Yeah.
But yeah, but I mean, the guy, all he ever does is hit, and so at some point, you gotta just see if he can hit.
Yeah. I mean, he'll get his looks for sure.
Well,
Um,
like you gotta be like when really up until like the past like 15 years, the AL used to be first basemen were just like hit for average with little power because they had the DH.
yeah, that's true.
So like if like I'm telling you if he could like for example if he hits like 320 with 10 15 home runs, I'd take that as a hitter.
Yeah, but I mean that I don't know. I respect that you're high on him. I would be thrilled if that happened. I just have a hard time seeing it personally.
You know.
Um,
I mean, I'll say I'm curious. Like Don Nori is going to get the only thing exciting I'm about for the World Baseball Classic. I know people are mad at us for not liking it as much as everyone else does, but Dante Nori gonna gets to play against competition for being on Team Italy.
yeah, yeah. He'll be teammates with Aaron Nola. It's not that I'm like anti-World Baseball Classic. I just think that they should kind of do what they do in hockey, where they just take like a several week break in the middle of the season to go to the Olympics. And I think the injury risk is a lot lower that way. Like if I see Christopher Sanchez pitching deep into a game for the Dominican Republic, I'm gonna lose my mind. In March. Like it's just
Well,
I don't
yeah,
know.
yeah. It's multifaceted. Like one, it's the middle like spring trade, so they're not at their best, and then so it's just so it's just like they're not all really ready, and then it's before the season, right before the season. I'm like, I don't care. I just want baseball season.
Yeah. I mean, I'll watch it. I'll enjoy it just because it's gonna be more competitive than spring
Well, no,
training
it's not. Oh, no, but I mean, you have like Lindor can't play because can't get insured. Like, what the heck? So it's a bunch of bullcrap.
Yeah, yeah. Apparently, like the reason Lindor couldn't get insured, apparently it's pretty consistent the way that they insure or don't insure players. Um, Essentially, if somebody had an injury in the last year or had a surgery on something in the last year, that body part can't get insured for the World Baseball Classic, which means the liability falls on the player. So, for example, Lindor, I think he had like some kind of like elbow cleanup over the offseason. So, if something happened to his elbow in the World Baseball Classic, he would be the one liable for that. He'd be missing out on his salary for however much time he missed. When in the regular season, the insurance and liability falls on the team. Same with spring training. The World Baseball Classic, since it's more of like an optional thing, that liability is passed on to the players instead, and a lot of them are just choosing to not take that risk of losing millions of dollars.
Yeah, the Cohen won't take. Yeah, it's just what if the player promised to pay cover his own insurance? Like, yeah, just yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I do not want Christopher Sanchez in the World Baseball Classic at all. Like Nola either. Like honestly, Nola has like a
No,
pretty
yeah.
vital role on the Phillies this year. Like hitters, whatever. Like it's pretty unlikely that some kind of freak incident happens to a hitter. Um,
Well, this is
it's
why,
just
like, well,
possible.
this is why, like international competition in the U.S. used to be just like college kids and everything. It's just like a lot less, a lot less like, oh god, worrying. Like if these are just like our minor leaguers, I'd be like, okay, go for it.
Yeah. Well, and college baseball starts so like we're like probably like a week away, 2 weeks away from college baseball starting. So they're kind of going to be in the swing of things at that point in time as well. Um, yeah. When does college baseball start? Let's look up my USC Trojans. Yeah, first game is in 5 days, February
Well,
13th.
oh,
College baseball is nuts with how early it starts. It really is. Um, One other thing I'm looking forward to, there's like a couple of like under the radar non-roster invitees that I think could be interesting to see. Number one, Trevor Richards. Like here's a guy with like hundreds of big league innings. Um, has he ever been that great in the big leagues? No, but for the most part, he's been serviceable, and I am interested to see how he looks and maybe see if he could provide some depth to the Phillies rotation because they're probably going to need that depth at some point. Then also Genesis Cabrera. I just think it's kind of funny to have Genesis Cabrera on the same team as Bryce Harper. I think
yeah, Kim in the face.
yeah, yeah. For those that don't remember, he's on the Cardinals, and he is the one that hit Bryce Harper with like 100-mile-an-hour fastball right in his face. Um, and Bryce Harper was not very happy about that, unpredictably. Yeah, Genesis Cabrera was on 4 teams last year, so he's never been great, but it'll just be
He's
interesting
like,
to see if there's any kind of
I mean, yeah, I mean, yeah, he's the type of player that got screwed by the reliever 3-out rule because really he'd be a loogie in olden times.
yeah, yeah. He has great
I miss,
stuff. He just has no control.
I miss, I miss loogies.
I do too. Like I've I've learned to accept the 3 batter minimum a lot more. Like I have not grown to accept the DH. I never will.
Oh yeah.
But I've grown to accept the 3 batter minimum even if I think it's better without.
Well, yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, like, if I feel like you could have because you can't limit pitching changes per inning. That'd be a pain in the butt more.
Yeah.
So, but it's just yeah, because the problem is yeah, you had a Bochy and Kapler. That was the like freaking problem. It's just and then everyone just kept doing it's just until yeah. Like with people like it's funny if people respect the unwritten rules. They think they'd be an unwritten rule to stop like taking a pitcher every freaking batter.
Well, Gabe Kapler's the one who ruined like the 40-man roster all being eligible to come in the major leagues in September. Because he would
Yeah,
use like all 40 of those guys in like a random meaningless game in September. It would take
yeah,
forever.
I know, and I mean, like the way I don't agree with the way they handle the chain. Like figures 28. I mean, the easiest thing to do is okay, it's the 40-man roster, but you can still only set 26 for the day.
Yeah, I don't
But
know.
the next day you can do it. I mean, I liked seeing all the young guys come up in September. It was fun.
Yeah, I do too. If you had only like 26 people every day, though, you would just choose your best 26 players, and like you wouldn't get like those cups of coffee for your
Well, yes,
prospects.
yes, you would. You would like a couple days. You change them out.
Maybe, maybe for like the non-competitive teams. So I guess like competitive teams really aren't using those extra roster spots all that much to begin with.
Oh, yeah, they usually yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah,
Um,
but it's especially when you're bad. When you like when the Phillies are bad, it's always exciting. Like okay, September. Let's see who they're going to call up.
yeah, yeah. Um, what else are you looking for? Spring training.
Uh, yeah, I mean, obviously Painter. It's like, and then I don't know. Like, I pay attention to Stott's hands and everything.
Yeah, that's a good one. I like that.
Mm, yeah, just no injuries, no injuries.
That's the real number one, right? Like, please nobody get hurt.
Yeah, like no diving or backtracking.
Yeah,
uh,
yeah.
uh,
I'll give you one more. I There's been a lot of talk in the offseason about Bryce Harper and how he's maybe upset at Dave Dombrowski's comments that he's not elite, whatever. I want to see Bryce Harper look more into the games. during spring training this year and the World Baseball Classic. I feel like for a couple of years now, Bryce Harper has looked disconnected and almost disinterested in the games he's playing in. And I would like to maybe have a little bit of fire back. Early on in his Phillies career, we saw a lot of fire from Bryce Harper. I don't know if it's because he's been playing in the major leagues for what feels like forever at this point, and the energy that he had just isn't there anymore. All the kids, right? But I want to see Bryce Harper kind of act a little bit like Bryce Harper again.
Yeah, no, I think he also like needs to like relax. It seems like he's like too much pressure on himself.
Yeah, yeah. Just like play loose a little bit. Um, Kind of funny. So the World Baseball Classic rosters have kind of been released, and obviously Bryce Harper is on the USA team. Where do you think Bryce Harper is going to be in that lineup?
Let's see, WBC US.
Because here's the guys that'll definitely be hitting before Harper. The big dumper, Cal Raleigh, he's definitely hitting above Harper, right? Judge definitely is. Bobby Witt definitely is. And I think you could make like a Schwarber. I feel like most likely is. You could make a good argument that like Gunnar Henderson should be hitting above him. You can make an argument for like Buxton, healthy Buxton, Corbin Carroll. Like Bryce Harper might be hitting like 7th on the US team or 6th or something like that.
Yeah, it's weird. I mean, honestly, all these guys, you could put them all this team anywhere. Like it's, I think Harper, like, yeah, like yeah, you want Bobby Witt, Gunner, and uh, yeah, it's like you kind of want like all the fast guys first. Honestly, it's like you want Gunner, yeah, you want Bobby Witt, Gunner, Buxton. Like I could see Judge batting like fifth in this lineup.
There's no way Judge is hitting 5th. Judge is like what, like the second best hitter in the game. Judge is hitting somewhere in the top 3.
I know, but you just put like these fast guys in front of them all, and it's just like, okay, you got like the freaking havoc. Oh, look who's up now, Judge.
Yeah, give me Witt at leadoff. Give
Yeah,
me like Gunner, maybe even
yeah,
Corbin Carroll second. Corbin Carroll, give me Corbin Carroll second.
yeah.
Judge third. Big Dumper 4. It's probably my top 4.
No, I would do Harper, then I would do Judge, then Harper, then uh Raleigh. Give Harper that protection.
Yeah, Schwarber. Sure.
Yeah, I know it's, it's an insane roster.
Some of the coaches too. Like the coaches are just like the. It's really an interesting list of coaches. You got like former Philly, Michael Young, Andy Pettit, Brian McCann is on the staff. David Ross, former manager of the Cubs, is there. Network guys like Mark Sean Casey, Alvin. It's just like a crazy coaching staff as well.
But like, it's still like the Dominican Republic. The outfield is Soto, Julio, Tatis, and then it was Ramirez, Perdomo, Vlad, Diaz Caminero. But third base, like you have Machado also could third base. It's like
Right.
it is insane.
Yeah. It's interesting. It's very
And
interesting.
Johan Rojas is there too.
Yeah. 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 Johan Rojas is there too. That's a great way of putting it. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how this is all going to go.
But
I'm
like,
really
okay,
interested.
I'm just curious. What are your thoughts on your Geraldo Perdomo being rated so high by everyone this year? Just because he hit 20 home runs last year, it's very likely that he could regress.
I don't know. I don't know if he needs the power to like be a good player. He's a great defensive shortstop. He hits for average at a clip that's pretty good for like current modern baseball players, right? He walks a fair bit, not a ton. Um, will he hit 20 home runs again? No, like, I don't think he's going to have a 2026 as good as a 2025 that he had. But I think he's maybe like a 5.5 WAR player still, 5 WAR player still. That's a really really good shortstop to have on your team.
I know, but like I thought the top shortstops at MLB 2020, like it was like a weird, like he was rated really high.
I mean, from a bias perspective, I want Perdomo to have all the success in the world because I have like a tops Chrome Sapphire Perdomo auto numbered to like 25. So if he turns out to be like a complete stud, that will be probably like by far the most expensive baseball card that I have.
Yeah, like yeah, they have yeah, like MLB has him 6 over Turner, Pena, Dela Cruz, and Nito. I don't put him 6.
Say again the people that were ahead of him and
I
behind him.
mean, okay, ahead of him you have number 1 obviously is Bobby Witt, then you have Corey Seager,
Sure,
Lindor,
sure,
Gunnar, Mookie
sure,
Betts,
sure.
and then Perdomo, then
Okay.
Turner, Jeremy Pena, Ellie De La Cruz, and Zach Nito.
I think you could make an argument either way, Perdomo or Turner, but I think that that is the only other person that I would maybe put ahead of Perdomo. So it seems like close to fair for me.
Also, it is pretty funny. Like, yeah, like Turner won like the first batting title for the Phillies in however long, and no one's talking. The team didn't make a big deal out of it.
Yeah, no one really cares about it, right? Like the whole batting average used to be so much. It used to mean a ton, and now it doesn't really mean what it used to
Well,
mean.
I think
Like,
if you won with, I think if you won something higher than 3 or 4, maybe the team would have done something better about it, more about it. It's the
yeah,
fact that it's like, oh, it's just 3 or 4 is like, okay, you won with that.
it's just kind of telling what modern baseball is, though. But yeah, he always has that bold ink now on his baseball reference page for 2025. So good for him. But I think that is a great lead-in to kind of one of the other discussion points that I had for this. So I think when you're like kind of planning out like how could 2026 go differently than 2025, you want to look at how players did in 2025 compared to their expectations, right? Like anybody who had like a 90th percentile plus season, they did much better in 2025 than we thought they were going to do. They're probably going to be due for some kind of regression. Even if they're still going to be good, they're probably not going to have such an outlier season again in 2026, similar with the guys that had disaster seasons in 2025. They're probably going to be better than that in 2026. Um, so, who are like the guys you think, Jeremy, that maybe had like outlier seasons in one way or the other last year that you kind of expect to bounce back to the mean this year in 2026?
Forward's not hitting 50 plus home runs this year.
That's the easy one, right? Like Kyle Schwarber might still be a really good player. Maybe he'll have a season similar to what he had in 2024 again. But yeah, that 2025 is an outlier season that nobody should expect to happen again.
Yeah, yeah. And then, okay, but in a positive way, Nola is not going to have Erie of 6.
Yeah, yeah. Nola, I think we've both been more positive on him than most people are. I definitely feel more positively about him than most people do. But yeah, is he gonna be, an ace or even a number 2 pitcher again? Maybe not, but he could be a quality number 3 starter, and there's still a lot of value in that.
Walker is going to be terrible.
Well, I wouldn't say that Walker had like an outlier season last year. Was it better than we were expecting? Sure, but it was maybe like a 75th or 80th percentile outcome, not like a true outlier. This is crazy. He's an all-star kind of season.
I think he's going to be closer to negative 1.6 WAR again than to 1.5.
Maybe. Here's one that people aren't going to like. Christopher Sanchez had an outlier year last year, and he might be really good. He's still going to be a very good pitcher, I think. But he is not putting up another year with a 2.5 ERA and a year in which he's leading the league in baseball reference. Um, that's not happening.
Yeah. Well, I mean, ski. Yes, I mean, if they let Skeens go deeper in games, he's gonna lead. WAR.
Yeah, I just think like what we saw in like 2024, maybe a little bit better than what we saw in 2024. He had still like 3.5 WAR in 2024, but he had 8 WAR last year, and I would maybe expect him to be back to like 4.5, 5. A very good starting pitcher, all star. But I don't really expect him to be one of like the main contenders for the Cy Young again.
Yeah.
Um, Another one that I have for you that I think also had like a little bit of an outlier season the last year. Jose Alvarado. I know that I have been low on Alvarado here, but I think that was a much worse season than the vast majority of people were expecting from him last year. Maybe steroids are the reason. I think they probably are. But maybe they're not. And Jose Alvarado can kind of regain some form and kind of give us some big innings from the left side once again. That wouldn't surprise me at all.
No, it really wouldn't. Like his walk rate was still 2.4 last. It's just the home runs really was shut up. So yeah.
And then I have another one that, again, people are not going to like this one. But Jesus Luzardo had a season that I think is like better than a 75th or better than a 90th percentile outcome last year for him. He
Oh
stayed
yeah.
healthy for the entire year. He had a couple of dreadful starts, but 90% of the time he was pitching like an ace. Um, I don't know if I'd bet on him to stay fully healthy, and if he does, I don't know if I'd bet on those starts to be what they were last year. Maybe he'll have an ERA, around what he finished 2025 at, somewhere around 4. But I think it'll be like a much more even 4 ERA instead of having like 90% of his starts be ace level and 10% being complete disasters.
Yeah, no, and I just think it's nuts that people are like, "Oh, we have to extend Luzardo. This guy has not been consistent enough to earn a long-term contract for with performance-wise and injury-wise. And if he does well this year and he does earn a lot more money, we can like backload it 1 year off, because Wheeler's contract will be coming off after that. So then, and he, bam, there.
Yeah, yeah. I think we can afford to be patient with him.
I agree.
Like especially with having
It-
Sanchez on such a good deal. Like I do not want to buy fully into Jesus Luzardo until he repeats the season that he had.
no,
Um,
exactly. He is. Yeah, no. I rather pay more and be like, oh well, rather than than be stuck with him.
yeah, yeah, absolutely.
And even if he does
Um,
well this year, I would still be worried about extending him for all the past reasons. Like,
at least long term, if you want to give him like a few years on a new contract at a higher AAV, that's
like yeah,
one
like
thing.
yeah, like a 3 or 4 year deal, I'll be more okay with an eighth. But
They had like the Nola deal, right? Where like we gave Nola an absurd amount of years. That's not what we want to do with Luzardo.
or because I mean, with the idea, whatever, like any sensible fan who know it, like, will he still be like a capable innings eater at the end of his career? Uh, uh, like people could say all they want about the contract. 24 million a year for it's not insane for Nola. For the quality of how pitchers are getting paid now.
Yeah, as long as he doesn't do what he did last year. If he is just like a decent middle of the rotation pitcher and
Yeah,
he stays healthy, that's probably worth $24 million in modern
yeah,
baseball.
yeah.
Um, I'll give you one more guy that I think had like an outlier year last year. Trey Turner. Trey Turner, I don't expect him to win the batting title again in 2026. I think that was not what we were expecting to have happen in 2025.
I
And
mean,
I'm
I would like he didn't really win it as more as no one like what like earned it.
yeah,
like like the Reds didn't make the playoffs. The Mets lost.
sure. That's true. Yeah, hitting 300 should not mean that you wanted it automatically. It should mean that you're in competition for it, but that wasn't really the way it was last year. But his defense was much better, right? People kind of forget that going into last year, there was kind of a debate on if he was going to stick at shortstop. And I think he quieted a lot of that down last year. But he was a very, very good defensive shortstop in 2025. Maybe he'll still be fine, but I just don't expect the same defensive year from him in 2026. And I think maybe if you have some offensive regression, back below 300. And maybe he's more of like a 4 win player, 3.5 win player instead of like the 5.5 win player that he was last year.
I mean, his defensive improvement has a lot to do with it. He didn't underhand side toss it 100% of the time. Most of his errors are because the way he throws it is just insane. Like, his motion still scares the crap out of me, but it was a lot better than years past.
Right, he just like airmails it to absolutely nobody.
He's like underhand. It's a weird underhand. It's like a submarine. Just like taught. It's really weird.
Yeah.
Like, how did he learn growing up? Like every teacher, like you reach back, you feed the horse, like you feed the horse, reach back and throw.
Yeah. Yeah. That is true. It is pretty strange. Um, I think those are all the guys that I kind of have thought of in outliers. Outliers in good ways last year were Sanchez, Luzardo, Schwarber, and Turner. In bad ways, Nola and Alvarado. So overall, maybe that's not the best sign for the 2026 Phillies, but I can't think of any other outliers last year.
I don't think Sosa's going to be slugging up 469 again.
That's a good one. Actually, I forgot about Sosa. He probably won't be. That is a good point. That is a great point. I didn't realize he slugged that well last year. That's crazy.
I mean, in previous years was 422, 427. Still, but like, yeah. But yeah, no, he definitely felt like way more power last year than expected.
Yeah, yeah, that's crazy. Good call out there. Thank you for that one. Um, I have a little trivia question for you and for everybody listening. Do not look this up on Baseball Reference. I want you to think of an answer and then tell me what you think the answer is. How many seasons, this is based on Baseball Reference WAR, of at least 6 Baseball Reference WAR, how many years did Mike Trout have at least 6 Baseball Reference WAR? And how many years did Bryce Harper in his career have at least 6 Baseball Reference WAR?
Uh, I'm gonna say 7 for Trout and 3 for Harper.
Close. Trout has 9. Trout has 9 years of at least 6 Baseball Reference WAR. Crazy. Harper has just one. Only his MVP year in Washington in 2015 did he have at least 6 Baseball Reference WAR.
Yeah,
Shocked me. Well, I learned this like
five.
maybe
I 5.9.
it's not 6. 5.9 is not 6. He had 1 year of 5.9, and then after that, his next closest was his rookie year, 5.2. So if you wanted to really get even crazier with it, Bryce Harper's only had 3 years of 5 WAR. I mean, he's a Hall of Famer. Bryce Harper's a very good player, but that just like mind blowing to me that he's only had 1 year of 6 WAR on Baseball Reference and 3 of 5.
Yeah. Yeah, his field because he's not bad fielder, and Trout was a Gold Glove. Can you believe Trout never won a Gold Glove?
It is crazy because he was a very plus. He was a very plus defensive center fielder. You would have thought he would have won one at some point, right? But you're right. That's where a lot of the WAR comes from, is the defense, right?
Oh, I mean, not a lot of it. That's the extra of it. I mean, Trout also was hitting plus 300 and like stealing like so many bases and walking a crap ton more.
Right. At the end of the day, it's not a fair comparison to be like Bryce Harper versus Mike Trout. Like that's not.
Yeah, like if anyone says that Harper better than Trout is just insane. Trout is like one of the best players of all time. Like Harper is a Hall of Famer, but Trout's like top 10.
What about Trout versus Judge and Ohtani? How do you kind of divvy those guys out?
Trout better than Judge,
Agreed.
and then it's just it's like I mean, I'll say Ohtani is the best baseball player of all time, at least right now.
I think Trout is a better hitter than Ohtani, but Ohtani is a better baseball player, more
Exactly.
valuable player because of the pitching.
But is he a better, like, because Trout's hit 44, 54, 55 home runs and like with a 59 stolen base season in there, and like fucking insane.
Yeah.
But he didn't have to play the out. But he did pitch. It's just like it's you can't quantify Otani. You can't quantify Otani. That's why he's
right. He's two players in one, essentially. It's crazy.
no. Yeah, no. I'm like people say like Willie Mays, Hank Aaron, Ruth, but Otani is the best baseball player of all time.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm with you on that one. I mean, obviously, if Babe Ruth played today, Babe Ruth would not hit 100.
No.
Babe Ruth would be not even the minor. Babe Ruth would suck in modern baseball. He would suck.
Yeah, but we don't know if Babe Ruth grew up in modern times when he's not been able to adjust to it. So it's like you can't quantify human progress based on
Yeah. But like the stories here of like, oh, Babe Ruth hit 550. Like, no, he didn't. He didn't. You know.
No, that was Mantle that like hit that long one. I don't believe that.
Okay, yeah, it was Mantle. Same thing. He didn't do that. He did not do that.
They say hit a Mantle hit like 565 foot. Some sources say it was 643 feet in 1960. It's like if we can't have guys like Judd, like Schwarber hit that in batting practice, I don't believe anyone did that in a game.
No. Yeah, especially because it's just like it's physics. Like a ball that's not coming in as fast, it's not going to go out as fast either. People were not throwing 100 miles an hour back then. It's harder to get that.
Yeah, but I guess Babe Ruth supposedly did hit a 570. But yeah, like I don't believe that.
No way. There's 0%, like literal 0% chance, in my opinion.
Yeah.
What's your prediction for the Super Bowl? Who do you think's winning? I'll get this up before the game. Who do you think's winning tonight?
Well, I mean, I'm rooting for the asteroid, but I would. But in reality, I want the Seahawks to win because you'll be happy, and then but also because Cup, and also we do not need the Patriots winning again.
You have a score prediction?
No.
I have 30-16. Give me 30-16.
But also, I want it to be a blowout to be like the NFC Championship game was the Super Bowl. AFC sucks.
I mean, it definitely was. In my opinion, this is just like the Seahawks 49ers NFC Championship before the Seahawks blew out the Broncos, where everybody knew going into that was the real Super Bowl of the season.
Okay, no one expected the Broncos. Peyton Manning had an insane that was insane how they just like folded.
That is true. That is true. Scoregami 43-8.
Yeah, I mean, all but with the safety. I remember in college, we were just like, well, this. Yeah, that was a very boring game to host.
And then everybody kind of thought that, maybe the second half, the Broncos will turn it around, but then Percy Harvin in the kickoff of the second half returned it for a touchdown, and then everybody was like, might be done. Might be done.
Also, I mean, just one last football thing. Or people are like, oh, they don't want an 18-game season because, players get injured stuff. I want the 18-game season because that would push Super Bowl Sunday to President's Weekend and everyone gets Monday off.
That is a great point.
Not everyone. Obviously, I know people work and stuff like that. I have friends, but I would get it off. You would get it off, and that's like.
A lot more people would get it off than they'll be getting off tomorrow, at the very least.
Exactly.
Right? So,
exactly.
That is a great point. Like, I'm guessing, like, if you look up like the college basketball schedule on President's Day, they're probably playing games all day because they don't. Actually, maybe I'm wrong. No, they actually really don't have any day games on like any. That's weird. Usually they do. Like Martin Luther King Day, they had games going on all day, but not on President's Day. Interesting. I was wrong. Okay. One more thing for you, Jeremy. How are you enjoying not experiencing this like ridiculous cold snap that we're getting here in the Northeast?
Oh, I'm enjoying it. I mean, I'm in California for the weekend, so I mean, it's even better.
Have you heard about what the weather's like over here?
No.
No. The wind chill last night when I went out to get my dinner was in the negative teens last night. South Jersey. Crazy, right?
Yeah. Crazy.
The negative teens doesn't even feel real. Like that's just too cold for it to even feel like a real temperature.
Yeah, no, that's insane.
But maybe one day it'll warm up here. It has not gotten any warmer for weeks, and maybe one day it will. But I'll also go down to Austin, Texas in a week, and I will be very happy to be done. I have not even booked my return flight yet. I don't even know how long I'm going to be gone for. But I have absolutely zero interest in hanging out in this cold for longer than I have to. Maybe I'll go to Costa Rica or Cabo or something like that from Austin. We'll see.
Yeah.
But, anyways, thank you for joining, Jeremy. This was great to have you on. Great to talk.
Yep. Everyone
Thank every
enjoy the game. Everyone enjoy the game.
Everybody's listening to this during halftime, right? This will probably be up by 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock. This will be everybody's halftime show. Listening to our podcast on like double speed or something.
Yeah, Bad Bunny. Who? Come on.
Yeah, there you go. Thank you everybody for listening. Thank you, Jeremy, and we'll talk to you all later. Have a good one.
Bye.